Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Ocho Talk Sports, and we're here with another sports podcast. Just made one yesterday. Make sure to check that out. Link in the description. It was a great podcast, my first one. This is my second one. Last podcast we talked about Aaron Rodgers' contract, Odell Beckham's contract, my Super Bowl prediction, and the KSI versus Logan Paul fight. And now today will be a bit of a shorter episode. Today we're going to be talking about my predictions. Again, I'm predicting my predictions for all of the NFL standings in each division. So I have who's going to be first and their record. And of course, I gave you my Super Bowl prediction last episode. Go check that out. Who you think is going to win the Super Bowl and who's going to be in the Super Bowl. But today, we're going to be talking about each team and what their record will be in each division. So let's just get right into it, alright? No questions asked. So we'll start with the AFC East with the Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, and Jets. So obviously, I don't even know how many years, but the Patriots always win this. It's not a great division, to be honest. Other than the Bills making it playoffs last year, wasn't that big of an entertaining game. It kind of just lost, and I was rooting for him. It would have been fun to see him win. But of course, in first place, we have the Patriots. So it's a bit of an interesting one. So a lot of people have been talking about how this might be Tom Brady's breakthrough year. And by breakthrough, I mean like coming worse and aging. Like, I think he just turned 41, I believe, and this was the same year Brett Favre broke down. I'm going to say broke down's a better word. Broke down and had the worst career of his life, and it's kind of like the prime ended. And I don't really think that's going to happen. I don't believe he's going to do better than his previous years. I think it'll kind of stay the same. So I have them going 10-6. I mean, I can't see them not getting double digits, but I also can't see them winning 12 games. I mean, yeah, it's Tom Brady. He's probably a top 2 quarterback all time, maybe even first, 5 rings, even though he got beat by a backup quarterback. I'm not saying anything, but I honestly can't see them not having double-digit wins. So we'll go 10-6 for them. So the rest of this division isn't really that exciting. We have the Jets 7-9. I mean, not much to say. Sam Darnold might have a good year this year with Teddy Bridgewater just being traded to the Saints, so he beat out Teddy Bridgewater, who is a pretty good experienced quarterback. So I think we can see a lot from him. Maybe even a Rookie of the year, but I don't know about Saquads. But I think he'll be up there. Dolphins 5-11. I mean, come on, I feel bad. They used to be a pretty good team. They weren't that bad, but now it's just not fun watching. And the Bills, same thing, 5-11. Don't have Tyrod. Who's their quarterback though? Who cares? He's irrelevant. And Shady's probably gonna get suspended for his wife. And I mean, not really much exciting in that whole division except for Patriots coming out every year until maybe the Jets will come out once Tom Brady retires. I think Jets will come out in that division when Brady retires, which may not be till 5 years, so I don't know. And now we'll move to the AFC North with Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and Browns. So, same thing with this division, just as AFC East. Not much to really talk about except Steelers coming out and them and Ravens being rivals. But Steelers, I have 11-5. I mean, I feel like Le'Veon's gonna play his fucking heart out. Antonio's gonna have a great year. This is almost one of Ben's last years in his prime. Not really in his prime, really, but one of his last years that he'll be pretty good. So I think they're gonna be 11-5. Steelers are just a very talented team, both offensively and defensively, and yeah. And now for the Browns, it's pretty interesting. So I don't really see a lot of people putting them above 500. I mean, a lot of people are still doubting them from last year, but honestly, I really like what the GM did this year. He added on a lot of talent. They got Baker and Denzel Ward from the draft, both great players. I'm not sure if Baker will play. I hope he plays over Tyrod. I think he should. Juice is gonna do great. Duke Johnson Jr. might do great. Every one of their players are gonna do great, in my opinion. But I mean, I was happy with the defense. Michael Kendrick just got released, inside trading, I believe. That's kind of a bummer, even though I hate him because he talks shit on the Eagles. But I honestly see them going 500, 8-8. I honestly have faith in this team. I think they're going to be able to come out with a 500 record. Obviously, no playoffs for them. And then Ravens will move on from the Browns. I just think 8-8 is a fair record for them. Ravens, I mean, not anything exciting. I say 5-11 for them. And then Bengals 5-11 too. I mean, not much you can really say about them. It's gotta suck being AJ Green. Okay, so now the AFC West. This is where I think it gets a little bit more interesting. Same with AFC South. But AFC West, a lot of people, I think, are doubting the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to have an amazing year. An amazing year, in my opinion. I definitely see them coming out top dog in the entire AFC. I have them 13-3. This is the amount of confidence I have in the Chargers with Phillip Rivers. They added so many great talents. Melvin Gordon is going to be a beast. I am so hyped for the Chargers. That's why I have them 13-3. Right behind them, 11-5 Chiefs. The Chiefs started out so great last year in the beginning of the season. Everyone was scared of them. Everyone thought, oh shit, this is the Super Bowl team. Them and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. But they broke down. They really broke down. They traded quarterbacks, but I could see them still going 11-5. Very talented roster. Great offensive talents. Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. And I honestly believe they're going to do great this year. And then Raiders and Broncos. Again, not exciting. Raiders 5-11. Broncos 3-13. Not much going to happen there. And AFC South. This division, I would say, is the best in the AFC, as in teams that are good. I mean, Patriots and Steelers are obviously both better than these teams in here, but I think it has the most best teams, if that makes sense. So, coming out first, Jaguars. People have a lot of faith in Deshaun Watson and Texans, but I still think they're too young of a roster to become a top dog in this division. I could still see Jaguars, even though they're still young. Jaguars 11-5. I love the Jaguars. Leonard Fournette is a monster. That's why I picked him in my draft. And they were in the Super Bowl conversation in my last episode. If you want to go check that out, go ahead. And Texans, after them, 9-7. I think in a few years, them two will be huge rivals, always going for that top spot, which they are now, but I think it'll be one game difference each year. Titans 8-8. They did pretty good last year in the offs. Almost beat Tom Brady, but they did not come close to beating Tom Brady. Mariota, great person. He's also an underrated quarterback. I think he's a great quarterback. And, I mean, I just don't think he's got a talent to be able to beat Jags or Texans. And then Colts 2-14. I mean, Andrew Luck coming off an injury. I didn't like what I really saw out of him from training or preseason. It was not fun. Okay, so now AFC, the top dog was the Chargers. Now we'll move to the NFC. So we'll start off with the East. And I mean, it's pretty obvious, except for Victor Cruz, who's an idiot. Eagles will come out NFC East. I don't see them having above 12 wins. I see them 11-5. I still think they're a little bit Super Bowl struck. I don't think they're going to be the same that they were this year. They lost some players, but some players are coming back, like Jason Peters, Carson Wentz. But I don't see them having the greatest year ever that they had last year. So 11-5 is pretty fair for that great team. After that, Giants, I don't see them being above 500. I think people are overhyping them just because of Saquon. Saquon can't just, pick up this team from 3 wins or 2 wins, however many they had, because they fucking suck. And Odell's back, which is pretty good. I can see them winning 8 games, 8-8. Cowboys right under them, 7-9. Dak's got to come out, man. I mean, him and Zeke got to connect. Zeke and him are just always off. You know, Zeke getting suspended, and then once he gets suspended, Dak turns into shit. So yeah, I think Dak needs to fix his shit. And then they also just lost Dez, which was kind of upsetting for them. I think he'll go to Browns, which will also make their record better, 8-8, which will be great. And then after Redskins, who cares? 5-11. They're not going to do anything. NFC North. I love who I got here. I made a bold prediction here. So, Packers and Vikings are both great teams. This is why I love this division. Lions are also a pretty good team. So this is why I have the highest NFL record in the NFL for the Packers. I see the Packers going 14-2. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna go nuts this season. I have complete faith in him. That's why they are in the Super Bowl conversation too. If you want to go watch my other video, you can, of course, go to my channel, link in the description. And yeah, I see them 14-2, and right under are the Vikings. So I see the Vikings 10-6. They could go 11-5, but I think they'll still be in playoffs. I mean, after last season, it was a little upsetting after they got whooped by the Eagles. I mean, if they beat the Eagles, they would have beaten the Patriots because they were home field. I was at the game, the Super Bowl, but they were home field. It's going to be in Minnesota. They would have had all the hype. I think they would have beaten the Patriots as well as the Eagles did. So then the Lions 7-9, Bears 4-12. Okay, who cares about them? I mean, Matt Stafford is going to do great. Golden Tate didn't have that great of a year. Him and Marvin Jones are good receiving core. I think they'll pick it up. I think 7-9 is fair. So NFC West. So this is a little interesting as well. So when I was doing some research the other night, I saw a lot of people had Rams winning this division, but I'm going to be honest, I have complete faith in the Niners. That's why I have them 11-5. Jimmy G, Richard Sherman are going to lead that team to this record. Jimmy G is undefeated as a starter, man. He's undefeated. I mean, he is just doing great. I picked him as my backup quarterback for fantasy. I have faith in them. They've added so much talent to the roster. I think this year is their year to turn their shit around and finally get a winning record for a while. And then after, I have the Rams, 9-7. So they are the ones that injured Carson Wentz. So I'm not a big fan of the Rams, but do love Todd Gurley. I can see them making wild card at 9-7. I still think they're a great team and everything. I think they can make wild card and maybe even go a little bit further than that. Then Seahawks, like I talked about in my last video, I feel bad for Russell Wilson. I think he's the top 3 quarterbacks in the league right now, and he's got a pretty bad team as of now, other than his Super Bowl years. He's got a pretty bad team right now, so I see 7-9 is a fair record for them. And then Cardinals 3-13 are like probably going to be first pick in the next draft if they have a pick. And finally, my favorite division, the NFC South. This division, I've never even comprehended how nuts this division is. Saints, Falcons, and Panthers, and Buccaneers, but they suck. Saints, Falcons, and Panthers. This is a nuts division. So, tied in first and second, I put Saints and Falcons. I think this is going to be a great year for Drew Brees. I see an MVP year for Drew Brees here. Same with Cam Newton. I think them two are going to be MVP candidates with Deshaun Watson. I mean, Drew Brees is an absolute legend, man. He's the top 10 quarterback, maybe even top 5 of all time. He's got a great team. Kamara, Michael Thomas, great defense. This is why I think they're going to go 12-4 with the Falcons. Falcons are also great. Matt Ryan, Devontae Freeman. I think that this team, I think Julio's going to have a turnaround year. Last year was not his best year. I think this year is his turnaround year. Going to get more receiving touchdowns. Sorry. And then under them is the Panthers, 10-6. Like I said, I think Cam Newton's going to have a great year this year, an MVP year. I think that he's going to carry his team to a 10-6 record. I think he'll make wild card. I don't know if he'll go any further than that. But I'm really excited to watch how this division plays out. I think Saints will come on top, but I mean, with these three teams, you never know. And then at the end, Buccaneers 4-12. Who gives a shit? So that was a pretty long video. I expected that to go shorter, but yeah, this was a great video. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about my standings and if you would change anything. And make sure to like and subscribe and click that bell so you know when I post more sports podcasts. And even if you think that I'm an idiot, you could comment below. Tell me that I'm an idiot, and I'll listen to you guys, even though I'm not an idiot. So, yeah, have a good day, guys.